Okay, this is the 6-2 notes for Algebra 2. We're going to look at graphing square root functions. We recall that f of x equals the square root of x is the parent function. The domain is 0 inclusive to infinity and range is 0 inclusive to infinity. That is going to give us that upward arc. Translations, when you add k to the end, we're going to go up by k. If you subtract k, sorry, that was a typo, then you go down. If you add h, then you go to the left, like you're moving to that, because that's a plus, minus, negative, so you're moving to the negative side. If you have minus h, that means you're moving to the positive side, so it's backwards from what we think. If we multiply by a and a is bigger than 1, it's a vertical stretch. If we do a and a is less than 1, it's a vertical compression. If we do b, it's a horizontal compression. And if b is smaller than 1, it's a horizontal stretch. If we do negative times the function, it's a reflection across the x-axis. Negative times the x is a function across the y-axis. So we're going to look at, well, what would happen with this one? So we always start with our h. In this case, it says minus 3, which means h is 3, moving to the right 3. So that changes our domain to 3 to infinity because we went 1, 2, 3 to the right. We go to k next, that goes down by 2. So that means that our range has moved down by 2. So it went over 3, down 2. And it changes that. Vertical stretch, that's step 3. That's a in front. It means it has stretched it up towards the kind of pulling it towards the y-axis. Step 4 would be to look in front of the x. There is no number in front of the x, so there's no horizontal stretch. Step 5 is look in front of the a, which is right here. There's not a negative, so there's not a reflection across the x-axis. And then step 6 is to look in front of the number that's in front of the x to see if it's negative, to see if it is a reflection across the y-axis. So here's another example. Step 1, we look inside the parentheses. We have a right to the by the right by 2, up by 3. We don't have a number for a, so there's no vertical stretch or compression, but we do have a number in here, and that means that there is a vertical stretch by 1/2. If we do look in front of the a, it's not a negative, so that no reflection there, and then we have a reflection on here, so that makes it a reflection across the y-axis. Square root input must be non-negative, so to find the domain, we have to set what's inside the parentheses, inside the square root, the negative 1/2 times x minus 2, to be greater than or equal to 0. And then when we solve for that, we find out that the domain is x is less than or equal to 2, and the y is all things bigger than 3. And that comes from step 2. Okay, so that's the end of step 6-2.